Well, it's day 3 of Search and Invest, and this time we're looking at putting Latino risk to your portfolio. Brazil may be the current darling of South America, but my next guest believes GDP growth in Argentina could outperform this year, boosted by a strong export demand, significant policy stimulus, and bumper grain harvest. For more, we're now joined by Slim Feriani, CEO of Advanced Emerging Capital Limited, joining us live from Hong Kong. Slim, good to have you with us. I'm looking at figures of inflation over in Argentina. Like many emerging markets, it is suffering from high inflation. Unofficially, inflation at 25 to 30%. When I see a figure like that, why on earth would I want to invest in Argentina?
Well, I don't think you want to look at just one data point, and you hit it spot on there. Perception about Argentina is extremely negative, and that's for historical reasons. And if you talk to most people out there, they'll say it's a basket case, so don't get anywhere near it. Effectively, yes, we have seen a lot of mismanagement at the macro and political level for several decades, and it's just a matter of where the turning point is, and we believe we're near that. So the reality about Argentina is far better than the extremely negative perception you have out there.
Yeah, well, Slim, look at the history and why we have those perceptions. I mean, it's been decades of debt default, political catastrophe, changes of government. I mean, a lot of money has been lost over the last few decades in investing in Argentina. So why has it changed? Why is it different now?
Okay, well, I mean, the way we look at things at our end is along four areas. We look at quality, valuation, growth, and change. And when you look at these 4 areas, quality, in terms of sovereign balance sheet, corporate balance sheet, household balance sheet, you'd be very surprised. And the sovereign balance sheet of Argentina is among the best out there. Very surprising, but it is. And the net debt to GDP is about 20%, from well over 100% not long ago. So effectively, they've done a pretty good job in terms of deleveraging at all levels. In terms of external account, same thing. You have actually twin surpluses, strong trade balance and current account surplus and budget surplus. Again, that's not necessarily factored in. Number 2, valuation. Valuation, if you look at equity valuations, they're quite attractive on the equity side, but also on the fixed income side, but most importantly also on the FX side. The Argentinian peso is among the cheapest and the most undervalued globally. And if you looked at just a simple index like the Big Mac index, it's about 50% undervalued, even more undervalued than the Chinese currency. But then in terms of valuation, the equities are among the cheapest in the emerging world and the frontier world, and compared to Brazil and Latam, they are cheaper and offering better growth. So I'll move then the 3rd area, growth. GDP growth, as you hinted already at the introduction. GDP growth of well over 9% last year and heading into 7% this year. Earnings growth of well over 20%. So strong quality, attractive valuation, strong growth. The last bit is change, which has been negative for decades, as you rightly hinted to. And we think the political change expected towards the end of this year will turn things around.
Okay, Slim, let me ask you, has what Slim said convinced you to buy into Argentina?
Well, Slim, this is Jim Rogers. I have owned shares in Argentina at times. I've actually made money in Argentina at times. And maybe it is time for a rally in Argentina. But the idea that Argentina is now the holy grail is beyond comprehension. You mentioned that there's been deleveraging. That was forced on Argentina. They went bankrupt. They had to deleverage. It's not as though these people suddenly said, oh, we're going to do it right. I mean, they were forced into that. Your points may be exactly right, and there may be a year or two when Argentina is a great place to be. It sounds like I should go and look at Argentina again. But the idea that Argentina is now at a tipping point, or where it's changing for good, is beyond comprehension to me.
Well, Jim, you're quite a bull on soft commodities, and Argentina is definitely one place that's got that going forward. I mean, whether it's Argentinian beef or soft commodities like grains, soybeans, etc. And that's been a key driver for the strong macroeconomic story going on for the last now couple of years. And what helps also is the likes of Brazil, right next door, literally, having a booming economy. So that's helping tremendously the Argentinian economy. And the soft commodity story is helping it. So the tailwinds are very much external and helping it. And what's missing is the politics. So the mismanagement on the political front, if and when we get positive change on the politics, hopefully by the end of this year, then that could be a dramatic catalyst. Now, that would be a very bullish case. But aside from that, as you rightly said, in a year or two, we like to be early movers in places like this. And this is part of a well-diversified portfolio. So we have been investing in an Argentinian fund because we don't think it's worth taking the risk in a specific stock. And within a front... Yeah.
Very quickly.
I'm just saying that you're exactly right about commodities, and especially agricultural commodities, and they have a lot of them, and they have a rich a prosperous neighbor in Brazil right now. I don't dispute any of that, but don't think that Argentina has changed for good, because, yeah, they'll have a rally, and then the same old thing will happen. They'll run up debts, they'll collapse again. I wish I could believe it, because I love Argentina, I love Buenos Aires, but I don't buy the permanent change.
Okay, we will agree to disagree for now. Slim, thank you very much for your insights. Good talking to Slim Feriani, CEO of Advanced Emerging Capital Limited. And of course, Jim Rogers is our guest host today. Jim, we have a viewer email for you. We've been asking for these viewer emails, and it's about apparently silver and gold. And I am assuming, if you could pull that up for us, whether you're still buying silver and gold. Is that something you're looking at? And where do you see these precious metals at this point in time?
Actually, I bought some silver and gold last week. Not a lot, but just for a variety of reasons. If they go down, I'm going to buy more. Yes, the bull market in silver has a long way to go.
What do you see driving these two metals up?
Paper money is being debased all over the world. No paper money is sound, virtually no paper money is sound anymore. And we're having shortages of developing of silver because of speculation partly. But no, the world's got a lot more inflation, a lot more currency debasement. Don't sell your silver.
All right. Matt, who sent in an email, I hope you're hearing that. Thank you very much for that email. Jim, thank you very much for your time today. So good to have you on. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And come visit us again. Jim Rogers, Chairman of Rogers Holdings.